Good morning and welcome to Savon de Fruget. Today I am making a peppermint oil and tea tree oil natural soap for a friend of mine at work. She says it's really good for her skin, so we're going to be doing that, and she's requested no colorant in it, so this will just be the color of the soap that it is with just the natural oils. I've already measured out my water and my salt to make the hardening of the bar go a little bit faster. I'm going to measure out my lye now, and I'm just using High Test Lye, and I got this off Amazon. It's the cheapest price that I found, so I'm going to go ahead and measure that out. Ooh, there's a chunk in there. I'm going to break my chunks up a little bit. Okay. So we're going to measure this out, and then we will add the lye to the water. You never want to add water to lye. It's always going to be lye into the water. Okay, that chunk's a little much. All right, we're right on. So I'll put this to the side. Move my scale out of the way. And then we're going to add it. I'm going to add it a little at a time and stir it. That way it all gets dissolved. And the heat is going to help dissolve or help the water take in that salt, so you won't have any of that left over either. And you see how cloudy it's getting. And then once it cools down, it will not be so cloudy. It'll be clear. And it gets really hot, like 140, 150 degrees or more. And we'll take the temperature here in just a second. Let me make sure everything's stirred in. Okay, we're good with that. Let's see what the temperature is. It's 194 degrees in that right now. And it's way too hot to soap with, because I don't want to cook my soap, because this is cold process. So I'm going to set this off to the side and let it work on coming down to room temperature. And we'll be back in a little bit to do the oils and get those melted and ready to go. Okay, now I'm back to measure out my oils and get those ready for melting. The first thing I'm going to use is coconut oil. I just got this at Sam's or Costco if you don't have a Sam's in your area. Cheapest place I have found to get it. So we're going to go ahead and measure that out. Get a little too much in there. All right. We've got the amount of coconut oil we need. So I'm going to put this off to the side because I don't need it anymore. The next thing I'm going to use is palm oil. And I got this from Wholesale Supplies Plus. And it's going to last me a while because I don't use nearly as much. And we're going to measure this out now. These are my hard oils, and I always try to measure those out first. Okay, we've got the right amount of palm oil in. And now I don't need my spoon anymore because I've got all my hard oils in. Set this to the side. Make sure it's on there nice and good. Okay. Now I'm going to measure out some of my softer oils. The first one's going to be almond. And I just got this from Amazon. Okay. Then my next one is castor oil. And I got this from Wholesale Supplies Plus as well. You can get it at Walmart, but it's much more expensive there. And then my last oil is going to be my olive oil. And I just get this at Walmart as well. Not very expensive. Works great. Readily available as well. You can measure these into a stainless steel pan and melt the oils on your stovetop. I just melt mine in my microwave, 30-second bursts, and then I let it, then I'll stir it, make sure everything's incorporated, and I'll let that come to room temperature as well. Once that's done, we'll pick back up. All right, I have my oils melted now, fresh out, just done. Let's check the temperature. 125 degrees. We want this and the lye water both to come down to room temperature before we combine them to start this saponification of the oils. So let's give them some time to rest and come to room temperature. Hey guys, welcome back. Our oil and our lye water are now cooled down, so we're gonna go ahead and mix it. I've got my immersion blender, or stick blender as they call it. I'm gonna make sure I get all the air bubbles out. And then I'm going to take my lye water and pour it down the shaft to try to prevent as many air bubbles as possible of getting it. Mix it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do it on low until emulsification reaches, which means that the lye water and the oil have blended. And there's no oils just sitting on the top and not blended in. And that'll help with the saponification. Looks good. So I'm going to leave that in, and I'm going to incorporate my peppermint oil and tea tree oil. I've already measured it out. I got the peppermint oil from Amazon, and I got the tea tree oil from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to add this in, and then I'm going to stick blend it in and make sure it's all incorporated. I'm going to get rid of some of this excess on the blade or the immersion blender. Set it off to the side. Okay. I've got just my little mold here, and I'm going to pour this into the mold, and then we're going to let it set probably until tomorrow morning. That way it's nice and firm. Oh, there's something in the mold. Get that out. I think I got it. All right, got it out. Now I'm just going to pour this in. Like I said, she requested no color in it, so it's just going to be the natural color of the oils. But it should be a really pretty cream color. I'm going to scrape out the extra, and the soap recipe that I'm using actually is the recipe that is used most of the time by Royalty Soaps. I've learned a lot from her, and we will link her channel below. That way you can see what she does and all the amazing creations she makes. Alright, so I've got this. Now I'm going to kind of get the air bubbles out because we don't want those in there. Get a paper towel and clean up all the drippies. And then I'm going to get my rubbing alcohol and spray the top so we can prevent soda ash from forming on the top and making it look ashy. Just kind of lightly spray it. And we're done, and we'll be back to cut this and see what the finished product looks like. Y'all have a great day. Hey guys, we're back, and I'm going to be cutting the soap that I made. Here is it unmolded, And you can see the pretty white color, kind of a cream. This is the natural color of the soap without any colorants. To cut it, I'm just using a cheese board with a wire cutter that I got from Amazon. Because I only make about 9 bars per loaf, I don't need a big cutter right now. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And you can see that I have marked where I like to cut. And this is about how wide I like my bars to be. So I'm gonna line it up and then very gently take my soap and just cut. And there's the inside of it. It's really pretty cream. One other thing that I like to do with my soap is to bevel it. So I take just a normal kitchen peeler and then just very lightly go down the sides. And it just makes it look a little bit more professional and gives it a nice hand feel, basically. So I'll finish doing this one in a little bit, but that gives you an idea of what I do to bevel it. Gonna set it over to the side, and then once I get it all done, I'll put it in a box in the closet and let it sit for about 3 weeks, and then it'll be ready to use. I gotta get this held. Just kind of. And there's the last piece. And we are all cut, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars of soap plus this little bitty edge off the end, which is not bad. But we're done cutting the soap for the day. We're gonna let it cure, and then we'll package it when it's ready to be given to its new owner. Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how I stamp the name of my company or my company on the soap. I've got a soap stamp that says Savon de Fruger. I'm looking for a new one because this one's a little bit hard to use, but I have sprayed it with just regular cooking spray to help it not stick. I'm gonna place it centered in the bar, just kind of gently press down, and then gently work it out. And it's got the stamp. And now we'll just let these dry out, and they'll be ready for packaging. And all I will do is just take shrink wrap that I bought from Amazon, the little bags. They're 4x6, I believe, in a hair dryer, and just kind of hair dry them and shrink wrap them. But that is the finished product. Y'all have a great day, and thanks.